Just another crazy day in 2021. Yes, indeed, we are continuing as the last year left off. How are you all doing? We're back. It's a pre-show live stream, and I've got some good woo for us today. Oh, yes, indeed. So I'll be along in about, oh, I don't know, say maybe 60 seconds. And we can get into that before the main Kev Baker show starts later on TFRlive.com. Settle in, folks. It's going to be a good one. There we go. Yes, welcome back. Let me just pop out the chat room and I will I'll give you all your free dopamine burst on the way in. Yes, indeed. How you all doing, folks? Hope you're all doing good out there. Hope you're having a good day. It's another crazy good day at KBS HQ here today. Yes, it is. And before I forget to tell you, tomorrow night on the main show, we're going to be joined by the other Kevin. No, not that Kevin. The other Kevin. Dr. Kevin McCairn is going to be on KBS tomorrow night. Yes, I was going to roll up my sleeves, but I'm already wearing a short sleeve top. Bit pointless, because this year we're getting down and dirty. Yes, indeed. We are going back into the trenches over on the main KBS show. And I'll be taking my place side by side with Bunker Boy. And we'll be getting into all that good stuff tomorrow on the show. But in the chat room today, yes, Malaya. Very nice. And nice seeing you over on Kevin's stream last night. I think it was Kevin's stream. We end up bumping into each other, and there's a few of us that all bump into each other on different streams. It gets really confusing. Lee Veltman's another one. He always seems to be there. I don't know. And then you got to remember it's like 4 or 5 in the morning, my time when I'm in there. I know. And I don't know about any of you people out there, but I am experiencing a severe lack of sleep these days. I've turned day into night almost, but even then I'm not getting enough sleep. It's pretty horrendous. I don't know. But we go on. We continue, regardless. Bearded Traveller, good to see you. ZX81, all reporting for duty. Felicia is in the house. That's because she knows there's going to be good woo tonight on the Kev Baker show. There's going to be good woo right here to warm you up right now. Yes, indeed. I've got you all covered. It's your little corner of the internet where you can escape the crazy, but still have a good dose of crazy from yours truly, right? I'll give you your crazy. Don't worry about that. So I've got, who else we got kicking about in here? We got Mish Broom, Australia. Look at that, folks. Another Australian listener checking in. Good day to you down there. Summertime. Bang. I was thinking about that today, though, you know. January. Before we know it, it's going to be the long, the bright nights, the long summer nights. I would say the sun will be out, but I'm in Glasgow, so it'll be out somewhere. Hopefully it visits Scotland this year, you know. But yeah, you lucky buggers down there. Even when it's winter, it's not exactly cold in Australia, is it? Although I do believe that there's actually a place where you can go skiing in Australia. That kind of baffled me when I found that out. I want to say the Snow Mountains, but that just sounds a bit obvious. I don't know. Rick, another person that I bump into on various streams. See, we're all on the same frequency, folks. We're not exactly the same. We don't all believe the same, but we're all kind of falling into the same groove and finding ourselves in the same locations at the same time. In a world of 7 billion. Ooh, pretty cool. Pretty weird. Pretty woo. We've got Louisa Santos in there. Good to see you. First paranormal. He's going back to the wooded fort. Or was it the woodland fort? I'll need to check that out. I've seen it on the chat earlier. Jason, good to see you back, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you and the family are well. And your mum. We've got Carol. Good to see you. Jose Ramon Francis. Always want to say that full name. It sounds like it's got gravitas to it. I don't know. We've got Littlefoot. Not to be mistaken with Bigfoot. Boom boom. Or as Polly insists, the big feet. Hey? Listen, there was 500 new species discovered last year. 500 new species. You can't tell me that there's still a chance we're going to find that Bigfoot or Big Feet one day soon. And you know what they say about big feet? Big shoes. Moving on. We've got the Wookiee in there. First in the chat room today was Polly Nation. Good on you, brother. Good on you. Cinny Monk, the Wookiee, Leslie, Donnie. See, they're all coming in late now. Jules. I forgot Jules nearly. Can't be forgetting Jules. Nobody puts Jules in the corner. Tiffany. Yes. So, are we going to get into it? I think we should get into it, right? Let me see. Let me see. Let me make sure I've got what I need on the screen and I don't go giving away some of the stuff before we need to, you know, keep you all guessing what's coming next. So, I thought we'd put together this rather, I thought this was a rather apt kind of thumbnail for what we do on here. Who, what, where, when, woo. Because the why is the woo, ladies and gentlemen. The why is the woo. And we've got our images for the stories we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about a probe, not just any probe, not just the tip of the probe. We're going to be talking about an alien probe from 2017. It's back in the news, but I know why. We're going to be taking a look at the much not to look at Area 51, or we're not meant to look at Area 51 because it's all that super secret sauce that goes on out there, right? Maybe back in the day, but we're going to take a look at new pictures. Pretty cool. But first up, is it a bird? No. Is it a plane? No. It's a Smellicopter. I know. Listen, I didn't make this up. It's literally the people that have designed what you're looking at there on the top right. That there is the Smellicopter. This drone sniffs odors with a real moth antenna. Now, listen. This is pretty cool. Now, I know people have varying degrees of opinions when it comes to technology, in particular drones and stuff like that. But this is pretty cool. I've got to admit. And it actually involves the Mothman. No, it does. Honestly, Mothman is involved in this.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Or the Mothman. It doesn't really distinguish between Mothman or Mothman. But this is literally like a hybrid cyborg. Because it's a mixture of technology and biology. It is. So it says here, it's a moth. It's a plane. It's a smellicopter. A little drone that senses odors with an onboard moth antenna. Seriously, that's the scientist's real name for this. Their creation. A system that monitors the electrical signals sent from the antenna of an actual moth. Now, I would like to promise you that no moths were hurt during the making of the Smellicopter, but I can't. I can't confirm nor deny what happened to the Mothman. Or,
excuse me, it's ma'am.
I knew he was going to say that. Allowing the drone to lock onto the source of a scent and navigate towards it. And seriously, this is a long-term purpose to one day get drones equipped with moth antennae to sniff out really, really bad objects that tend to go bang. And that's how you get around the algorithm. This is all thanks to the sacrifice. And I want you all to take a moment out now. I'm being serious. Look, this moth went the extra yard. Or the extra antenna for people like you and me. So, come on, pay some respects. You know, a bit solemn for a moment about this moth that sacrificed itself. Not just any moth, but a moth called Manducus Extra. Yes, indeed. What a name. Pretty cool. I think they just called it the Manduk. Which is all... So it says it's all thanks to the sacrifice, see? Gave itself up. It like, looked around at its peers and it said, alright then, I'll do it. I'll be the one. Should be remembered, this moth. I'm telling you. In fact, maybe they've built statues to it already up in Point Pleasant. I don't know. When a moth picks up a scent, like that of a flower, or a potential mate, the odour binds to proteins inside the antenna, and these proteins in turn activate neurons dedicated to specific chemicals. And that means the antenna are producing electrical signals that the researchers can tap into. We truly are starting to live in sci-fi world, right? Truly, ain't we? There's part of me thinks this is proper bang on brilliant, like great way. Why should we risk humans looking for these bad things when we can create devices like this, right? But you know they always take it too far, right? They always take it just a little bitty too far. If only they would stop at the Mothman Smellicopter hybrid thing that they're building right now. You know, but we know they won't. So it says, in order to create a sort of moth drone cyborg. See, I'm not making this stuff up. You don't need to anymore. Mechanical engineer Melanie Anderson of the University of Washington cold anesthetized a hawk moth in a freezer before removing its antennae. Now, I'd like to think that that moth never knew much about this. Now, hey, that moth, remember, we've got to pay solemn respect to the moth that sacrificed itself. But could we not, like, just make some kind of wire? Would a wire not be the same? Do we really have to go flash freezing moths? You know, look, think about it this way, right? I know the Mothman is maybe a step too far for most people. But even if there's the slightest of chances that moths in another dimension are like 8 foot tall and they can fight like can you imagine it? And here we are, just experimenting on their little incy wincy tiny whiny midget brothers and sisters. There could be hell to pay for this kind of thing. You see, I think of the things that these scientists, they don't have covered. They really need to be consulting with a man that's in his woo. I'll keep you covered, folks, I'm telling you. So it says she then cut both ends of a single antenna and attached each to an itty-bitty wire hooked up to an electrical circuit. See, she doesn't even need the whole antenna. I'm telling you, there's going to be payback. Something's going to happen. Watch out for an increase in flying humanoids this year, folks. We know why. So a lot like a heart monitor, which measures the electrical voltage that is produced by the heart when it beats. We measure the electrical signal produced by the antenna when it smells odor, says Anderson, leading author on a recent paper in the Journal of Bioinspiration and Biomimetics, describing the research. But where does this stop, ladies and gentlemen? Because I'm sure a moth is good, but hey, I don't think there's much wrong with the dogs that they use right now, the ones that they train up to look for the things that go bang and contraband and things like that. But God forbid we're approaching a day when you've got drones being flown by dogs going around in airports looking in your luggage and that's just going to get pretty confusing and messy after a while. It is. I don't know. I'm being a bit silly. It's 2021. I'm going to be like that. Telling you, like a ninja. Shh. Some kind of ninja, anyway. Not the Red Dragons ninjas, though. Boom, boom. Somebody was going to say it in the chat. Listen, I don't know, folks. I just think it's a bit cool. But there's the antenna going on. As much as a laugh and a joke, we're going to have to get used to these drones here, there, everywhere. Not just these ones, but as Nano was pointing out on the last show, it's like they're opening up the airspace between like a couple of 100 feet and 3,000 feet. And it's going to be populated by drones, people in jetpacks. You don't think there's people in jetpacks? Remember that last year? Yeah, there's people in jetpacks. So this is going to be a new feature. Kind of, no, it's not akin, but I suppose you could equate it to like when cars came along. You know, gradually over time, there was more and more of these things, and before you knew it, they're everywhere, right? Our skies are going to be pretty much the same soon, I think. Okay, with delivery drones, drones going between hospitals, surveillance drones, all of that stuff. Big industry, that's big money. Big money, folks. So you can see that there. But yeah, I thought I'd bring that one up. Now, the next one I was going to bring up, it's on the drone front, just to give you an idea. Being an ex-soldier, I found this interesting when I came across it. I think it was, well, it was a couple of weeks ago. But this story here, UK Army buys 30 bug drones that can spy on targets 2 kilometers away. And if they're saying they're buying them, you can guarantee they've been using them for a long time. And they're on to something completely different. They're on to the next generation of whatever they're using. In the research and development, the research and development places, you know. So, like I say, these drones here, there, everywhere. We've seen them burst onto the kind of commercial market a few years ago. And I actually think it's been a bit slow in getting going. And what I mean by that is I honestly thought we'd be getting into the realms of more of these delivery drones, commercial drones, things like that around cities in particular. You think of somewhere like London and all the traffic and everything else, typically. Not so much last year or into this year, boom, boom. But think of that. Think of the time you're going to save if you're just flying, you know, line of sight between 2 big buildings with a drone delivering things. It's a no-brainer, right? So yeah, that's coming around the corner. And then I found this now. This is obviously something we would get into over on the KBS Woo Cave that we're in here. Area 51. I know, right? Still making news. And here, if we look closely, and it's definitely worthy of some strange music, right? Area 51. New aerial photographs of Area 51 emerges. Now, I'll tell you what I think about Area 51 now. I don't think there's too much that is like super secret Morocco Mall, deep throat type stuff going on out at Area 51 anymore. It's too known about, if that makes sense. It's the most, it's like they call the Freemasons like one of the most, or the biggest secret society in the world. Not much secret about the Freemasons anymore. You know, not much secret about Area 51. Now, admittedly, we could be talking about layers of underground base underneath there, where we're never going to know what's happening unless we get clearance to go into one of those layers. And I don't know all of you personally that come to the stream here, but I think I could hazard a guess that not one of us is ever going to get clearance to go to any of these layers, okay? So we can speculate on the back end of Speculation Island what's going on underneath, but you may get the odd test flight of a new aircraft touching down when it's on testing out in the Nevada desert. Absolutely. I think it's like some kind of alien runway where they're all coming in. I'd like to think so. Would the Space Force use this for the X-37B? I would imagine so. I'd imagine so. But let's take a look at these photos anyway. And listen, that's just what I think. And I'm just one guy. I'm a dude sitting in Scotland. So what does it matter what I think if it goes against what you think? We're all good here. So Pilot Bob Richards. I don't know why I went all Pilot Bob on him there. Don't know. Bob Richards recently snapped a new image showing some of the base's buildings and runways. There are few places on Earth as notoriously secretive as Area 51. You know, they still send the guys out, the armed guys out, if you get too close to that place. Then we had that Storm Area 51 thing. That was like 2 years ago now, right? Last couple of years have been a bit cray-cray. It's a remote facility in the Nevada desert that has become synonymous with stories of reverse-engineered alien technology and the development of highly advanced black projects that next to nobody knows anything about. I remember a story that Charlie Robinson came onto the show and talked about. Big shout out to Charlie. I caught a bit of him talking to John Brisson over on We've Read the Documents. Good interview by the sounds of it. Charlie talks about his time in Las Vegas, right? And he worked in real estate there. But somebody he knew, photographer, had been invited out to do some work for the Department of Defense. They didn't know much about it. And it ended up one of these Janus flights, that plane that goes from the civilian airport in Las Vegas out to the base, right? And he came back a different guy, Charlie said. Now, he couldn't work if it was like some kind of psyop that they were running on him to see if he would go and blab and tell people or what on earth it was that was going on, right? But A, when he came back, he was acting very strangely, whatever happened at Area 51. And B, what he went on to tell Charlie about does sound like it was some kind of, or he was meant to believe what he was taking pictures of was some kind of craft. Now, people will say, but that doesn't make much sense. You know, they've got their own photographers. And I think that's what caused the guy to maybe think, are they trying to, like, trick me? Are they trying to see how I'll react to this? It was a weird one. And talk of factions within factions, groups within groups, and compartmentalization. You know, probably if you're in an office at Area 51, you probably don't have any idea what's going on in the office to the left of you or the office to the right. I mean, I was cleared to a certain level, but not the kind of levels you would need to go and work at a base like Area 51. And I know anyone that's been in the military knows how it works. It's a need-to-know basis, and if you don't need to know, you ain't going to know. I know we've had Bob Lazar infamously coming out. That's a strange character, right? That's not to be degrading to him or offensive to him. He's just a strange character. Most boffins are. And I put Bob Lazar in the boffin category. Do I believe everything that Bob Lazar claims? Maybe not everything. Do I think there's a kernel of truth in there, though? And something that leads to real rabbit holes? Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why Area 51 will remain good woo, and we'll get back to this here. Almost forgot we were talking about this article. Went off on one there. Despite this, however, it's actually possible for private planes to legally skirt the borders of the... See, here you go. I mean, how secretive can it be if it lets you, like, do a fly around of the place? And again, admittedly, there's underground levels. Which is home to both Area 51 and the Tonopah Test Range Airport. Another facility that the powers that would prefer to keep tightly under wraps. Sorry, got lost there. The latest image, which was posted up on December 30th, was captured by Pilot Bob, who noted that it was one of the clearest photographs of the base that he'd taken in a while. So Bob, you know, here we have this like super secret base, but Bob's a regular visitor. He just flies around on his plane. Maybe we should get Flight Simulator. Wonder if we got Flight Simulator, if I could like live stream us flying to Area 51. Wonder how close we would get. I wonder if they would shoot us down. Probably, right? But here's one of the photos here. One of the clearer photographs of Area 51. Uh-huh. Now, what's in here? Looks like something in a hangar, right? Too blurry to make out what it is, obviously, but is it some kind of new test plane? Is it something we're going to hear about 5-10 years down the road? What's this here then? In a round road, away from most everything and not linking up to a runway. I'm thinking something that can go. Is that where you let a rocket take off from? Very interesting. And here's the actual article over here. Of course, there's the Pentagon video. We've all seen that by now, right? Turn the music off.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
Is that ours?
That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. It is our LNS, dude.
Is it a Mothman?
Excuse me, it's man.
And there's the other one. Whoa. That is going at a fair rate of knots, but is it ours? Were these planes in the area purposely to... Even if the pilots didn't know, but... Was this a test of our technology that they were meant to capture? I don't know. I don't know. But that's a great photo of Area 51, you got to admit. Pretty cool. Dang, dude. You talk about the middle of nowhere, right? Wow. I tell you, if you are going to hide something, apart from the South Pole, middle of Nevada desert, pretty good idea. But I always want to, or what, not what I always wonder, but what I do wonder, how many bases, like, have we not heard of? Rick, our man Rick in the chat room, he was in the Marines. He'll know all about how loose tongues sink ships and people don't tell tales. And there's a real possibility there's a few bases out there that we just haven't heard of. Probably underground, but there might be some bases that are very mundane on the surface. You know, like some kind of maybe communications relay or some depot for something. But in reality, it's probably done a lot more. It's probably got alphabet agencies there. It's probably got all sorts there, right? Good to get the grey matter thinking, though, definitely. Especially at a time when there is so much talk of disclosure. And we've not really made much a song and dance of it on here on the actual stream, but that bill that's going through, and I don't know if it's been amended yet or anything like that, but the last I've seen, 180 days that the American government's got to disclose what they know about UFOs and UAPs. Any other year, and I know there's bigger stuff going on in the world, obviously, but that's massive, isn't it? You've been into UFOs and things for as long as I have. To hear that, now admittedly, you can't be naive here. It can't just like give in or cave into confirmation bias and believe everything that they tell us if this disclosure takes place. Got to be, very wary of the fact that there could be agendas afoot here. What kind of agendas? Well, I strongly believe that we've got technology that if we were to see it right now, it probably would look alien. Because we've never really lived in a world where you can see anti-gravitics in action, apart from the odd flying saucer that we see here or there. And I do think that this sci-fi world we're moving into, the technology is going to take such a leap and a jump that they really, whether it's true or whether it's made up stuff, they're going to have to bring us forward to that place where we're more ready for that kind of thing. And I know an audience like this, if they were to disclose anything, yeah, you're ready for it, but it's a big world and people are at varying degrees of being awake and varying degrees of being caught up in the matrix and, part of the system. So that's my little take on it. We'll see. We'll still be here 180 days or however many days it is from now. I don't even know if that bill's gone through, folks. So this is all speculation island stuff. I should have said that right at the start, right? So, quick one here, since we're talking space. Oumuamua. Now, this Harvard professor that's doing the rounds in the news right now, Avi Loeb, he's been on Clyde Lewis. He's been on a lot of podcasts, been on a lot of shows. And he's the guy that was telling the world about the alien probe. Remember that cigar-shaped object? Our first interstellar visitor, as they called it. Well, he's back again, right? This was 3 years ago now. And the reason he's back again is it's pure and simply because of this, folks. I don't think he's got any more evidence to persuade you one way or another that it was an alien probe. I think it's all just coming back into the news right now purely because there's a new book coming out. That's my initial take. I know. You'd probably prefer if I came up with some kind of fantastical story where they've received a signal now, it's some message. Nothing tells me that's the case, folks. It just doesn't, right? There's a Harvard professor says the first sign of intelligent life outside our Earth was discovered in 2017. Would you agree with that? Would you agree with that, folks? It's a bold statement to make, right? A Harvard professor says the first sign of intelligent life outside Earth was discovered back in 2017. I'm asking you, think about it. In his upcoming book, and there we have it, Extraterrestrial, astronomer Avi Loeb writes that when a strange object was seen by telescope travelling through our solar system, it says he believes it was a discarded piece of alien or of advanced technology from a distant alien civilization. In other words, space junk from many light years away. Now I can't tell you one way or another if this is space junk, if it's just a wacky shaped object. I don't know. Now you know me, being from Speculation Island and being citizens of that place yourself, there's a huge part of me would love it to be an alien probe. And if I game that out, what perfect way to disguise something, to cloak something that you've got out there, on some kind of reconnaissance mission. It's taking data from star systems, it visits and sending it back. If you want it to go really stealthy, you could just make it look like a typical piece of space rock. Not typical, this one, but still close enough for it to cast some doubt, and far enough away that we would never be able to tell anyway, right? So as an alien civilization, why not? We've remember back in the KGB days and things like that when the Cold War was on, you see spies and they were leaving messages in hollowed out stones, and it's just spycraft, So why wouldn't you? We don't have to go all fantastical and say it has like some kind of cloaking device. Why not just go for something that floats about in space anyway? Be a no-brainer, right? But I still think he's pushing it. I don't know. Maybe it is. Well, we just go with it as. You see how easy I was, like, breaking strength a piece of paper there, right? It was not an asteroid. It was moving too fast along a strange orbit and left no trail of gas or debris in its wake, which is and does make it anomalous. Definitely worthy of note, right? A description from publisher Houghton Mifflin Harcourt states, well, that's a mouthful, that. Out in Mifflin Harcourt here, there was only one conceivable explanation. The object was a piece of advanced technology created by a distant alien civilization. So let me go to you. Let me go to you, the audience, because in the end of the day, you should get to have your input on this, right? Because there's some big claims been made here, folks. Here we go. It says the cigar-shaped object was dubbed Oumuamua, meaning a messenger that reaches out from the distant past in Hawaiian. It is 10 times as long as it is wide and travelling at speeds of 196,000 miles per hour, researchers said at the time. Now, it says NASA confirmed that it's, quote, the first object ever seen in our solar system that is known to have originated elsewhere, but said its origins were unknown. And WBZ TV interviewed Loeb back in 2018. People should be excited that we currently have the technology and the scientific method to find out whether we are alone, he said at the time. So if we Google this and we get the details of it, we'll get the size of the thing, right? Come on, Kev. There we go. I should have the size, right? Here we go. So Oumuamua is a small object estimated to be between 100 and 1,000 meters. Okay, so 1,000 meters, that's like a kilometer. 300 meters or 303,000 feet long. And its width and thickness both estimated to range between 35 and 167 meters. It has a dark red colour, similar to objects in the outer solar system, and despite its close approach to the sun, Oumuamua shows no signs of having a coma. Coma is the nebulous envelope around the nucleus of a comet formed when the comet passes close to the sun on its highly elliptical orbit. As the comet warms, parts of it sublimate. This gives a comet a fuzzy appearance when viewed in telescopes. So, what do you think though? Was it a probe? Was it a bird? Was it a plane? Was it a probe? Yes. Rick Anderson, metallic signature on detection. Do you think it was a probe, Rick? It'd be a crafty way to do it. I'd be worried about that particular band of aliens if they're going. Well, that's some nefarious kind of dealings going on. If they're not wanting to be, why are they not wanting to be detected? What's that all about? What are they probing for? Ooh. Is that why we've got the Space Force now? Is that why we've got the Guardians up there? Do you sleep well at night knowing the Guardians are up there? I do. Listen. The Guardians versus that dude? No. Dude wins every time. Nah, the Guardians will be there. Don't worry, folks. If all else fails, right? If all else fails, if the aliens are coming, just at the last moment, just when we think there's going to be no hope for us, the Mandalorian's going to turn up with Baby Yoda and he's going to save the day. Why? How do I know that? Because I've watched The Mandalorian both seasons. It's what The Mandalorian does. Alright? Don't panic it, folks. We'll be cool. We'll be cool. Got it covered. Got it covered. So, what else do I have over here? Have we done everything now? We've done the alien probe. Yep, check. Oumuamua. Just the tip. But I think it's only back in the news purely because the guy's selling a book. I know it's really boring, but I'm just being honest with you. I might be wrong. Maybe they're setting us up. Maybe they're going to tell us in a couple of weeks. Yep, there's messages flying out of it. I'd be cool and I'd be very open to that. You know, I'd be the first one to apologise for getting it wrong and then go right down that rabbit hole. Oh, big time. We've had that. We've had Area 51. And we've also had the Smellicopter. Now, you see, researchers slap a living antenna on a drone to give a machine an insanely keen sense of smell. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Smellicopter. So anyone that says I mistitled my video just trying to bait them in to see what this Smellicopter thing was all about, there it is. There it is. It's just a quadcopter with a Mothman's antenna.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Yes, indeed. Now, talking of that,
How dare you?
did you see she was tweeting the other day? Our little friend, Greta. It was her 18th birthday. I want to give a big shout out to Greta. Hang on, I'll get it up here. I'm sure you've all seen it by now, but I thought it was hilarious. She has gone up in my estimations, I must admit. Hey, if you've got a sense of humour and you can laugh at yourself, right? Or you can laugh at others, hey. Make of it what you will, but check this out. People are probably going to say, no, that's terrible. Oh, I hate this website. So many adverts. Here we go. Greta Thunberg celebrates 18th birthday with a snarky message trolling climate change deniers. But now, where's the tweet? Look, there's her picture there. Flat Mars Society. Come on, that's funny. Thank you so much for all your birthday wishes on my 18th birthday. Or well wishes. Tonight you'll find me down the local pub exposing all the dark secrets behind the climate and the school strike conspiracy and my evil handlers who can no longer control me. I'm free at last. Yes, indeed. So, listen, I thought that was funny, folks. I did. And we have had a good laugh at her expense along the way this past year. So, hey, give it her due where it's warranted.
How dare you?
Exactly. I'll be back in a moment, folks. Find out what's going on in the chat room. Hope you're keeping it real. Hope you're not letting your brain turn to black goo out there. And I'll tell you, wait, I've got some good woo sites for the main show today. Oh, some good woo. Oh. What's this? I am Electric Blue. Hey Kev, been a huge fan. Oh, no, dude, you're just one of us. No fanboys around here for some years now. Love your channel. 100 and love hearts. Love it. Love it. You're welcome here anytime, I'm Electric Blue. I thought that was quite funny. And then I said to myself, being the conspiracy theorist I am, I wonder if it was her or her handlers that put that out there, was it? Billions. Yes. But listen, we've got first paranormal in there. We've got Polly being far too risky to be talked about on the stream. I'm only joking, brother. I'm only joking. Paranormal says extraterrestrial. Read all about it. Yep. Let's see what else we got. No intelligent life here. Nothing to see here. Move along. Probably. Cassie, you're probably right. They probably took the readings from the probe and said, what a disappointment. We thought they'd be further along by now. Oh well, another 2,000 years, we'll send it back. If we were advanced enough, right? Which I think it does lie in our future. Way down the road. If we don't destroy ourselves first. I absolutely believe that we'll be terraforming planets once that technology is available and once we can, leap and jump across the vast distances in space by some technology, some science that we haven't opened up yet. And if we did, is that how we would maybe do it? send a probe like there once every 100 years or so to kind of see how it's getting on. Then once they attain certain levels of what technology, science, knowledge, evolution, you know, do we intervene? Do we introduce ourselves? What? Let me introduce myself. I just wanted to burst into a song there. No, but would we? Would we introduce ourselves? How would it work? You know, look at the experiments we do on this planet, folks. If we had like other planets where people couldn't even see what we're doing, can you imagine what we'd be getting up to? Mars base 1, anyone? No, I don't know if there's bases on Mars or not, but I am one of the few people on this planet. Well, not few people, but probably only a few hundred of us that have physically spoken to people that claim to be from Mars or claim to have visited Mars. Okay, I'm very open-minded. And I love a good Martian yarn. Do I think that we've been on Mars in the past? Yes. Do I think we've got a secret space force? Yes, indeedy. Does it include the Guardians? Yes. And the Asgardians? Yes, it does. Talking of Asgardia. Strange one today, right? Strange one. Well, I bring this up here. Just what I remembered, or I'd have gone through that without showing you all, but Asgardia, right? Weird. We've talked about them on the show before, remember? And when Ben Emlyn Jones was on the last time, he was unaware of Asgardia. Well, they've got a new video out, and I've seen this today. Now, I'm not going to play it in case we get struck for it, but I can break this down for you in really simple terms. The Asgardians, the world's first space nation, and bearing in mind this cat here is a Lembit Opic, right? He used to be in UK politics. Can't remember what party it was, but he was in there, proper politician, and now he's on their parliament. He's like their prime minister or something like that. This one here's like the president of Asgardia, this lady. This dude's like their business minister. And this cat down here, in the bottom left, he's the first businessman to sign an off-world business contract with the space nation of Asgardia. Now, if that sounds like it's something out of some like Tom Clancy sci-fi novel, even though he didn't do sci-fi, I get it. I mean, you can't escape it. But this is reality. What's going on with this Asgardia mob? What is it? I remember Nano came on the show. I can't remember all the details, but I remember that we basically Nano boiled it down to the potential for this being like some off-world Cayman Islands like money scam. See, you get all these crazy banks out in like the Caribbean, you get Swiss bank accounts, and the kind of places where you can shift money and move money, shell companies, and before you know it, it's a whole lot cleaner than it was when it started. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Yep. Well, and I may be wrong, but memory serves me correctly. Nana was saying, you know, this looks like they could be doing something similar, but off-world, on a cube satellite, totally outside of the jurisdiction of anywhere. They're a space nation. And like I say, now this was like the 5th of January, it's today. I'll play the first couple of minutes, I'll play the first minute of it, okay? Here we go.
Hello, I'm Lembit Opic, the Chair of Parliament for Asgardia, the world's first space nation.
Hello, I'm Leonard de Winne, the Prime Minister of Asgardia.
Hi, my name is Mark Bogan, and I'm CEO of Asgardia Financial Arc and Minister of Finance.
Hi, my name is Ben Dell, and I'm a business person that wants to do business in Asgardia.
Thank you all for joining us today at this historic occasion. Today, the first business contract is being signed between Asgardia and an earthly businessman.
Oh, like I say, folks, like I say, it's another crazy, crazy day in 2021, and for the space station of Asgardia on this very historic day. And look how they name it. Yesterday, Aquarius the 4th, in brackets, January the 4th. Lembit Opik, Chair of the Parliament of Asgardia. Lena de Win, Prime Minister of Asgardia. Mark Bogan, Minister of Finance and CEO of Asgardia's financial arc, met with Ben Dell, Asgardia's Member of Parliament and the business owner in the Space Nation the business owner in the Space Nation to sign the very first license agreement. And it says you can go and join their Discord server. So guess what I did? I went and joined their Discord server. And I'm happy to announce I'm taking my first steps, just small steps for Kev, giant steps for Kev's kind. But I'm going to become a banging citizen of the nation of Asgardia. I'm going to do it, folks. I'm going to do it. Hey, look, it's backcrap crazy down here. And if the only alternative is to digitize myself and go and live in near-Earth orbit, flying around on a CubeSat with Lembit Opik and a bunch of other 1,000 digital space cultists, so be it. I throw my hands up in the air, and at this point, just let me off the rock. And I ain't getting a seat on Elon Musk's thing. I ain't doing it. I'm not getting another seat on there. I've tried everything. I mean, literally, I've tried everything. I even told him beyond the tip. Nothing. Wasn't reciprocating at all. So this is it, folks. Yeah. So I'm gonna talk you through. We're gonna do a fly in the wall as I become a citizen of the space nation of Asgardia. I'm only joking, partly, but the website is very, very, very tempting. Shall I? Imagine going to Glasgow Airport. Passport, please. You go out with your passport, thinking you're Jack the Man. With your Asgardian passport, about to use it for the first time. What do you think a customs officer in Glasgow is going to say to you, folks? It's going to be a unique experience. It truly is, because I can guarantee you that Asgardian passport of yours ain't going to get you past go. Oh, hell no. In fact, you'll probably become a laughingstock at Glasgow Airport. Here, Chief, come check this out. Check this space cadet out. He's got an Asgardian passport. Ah, exactly. Jules said it's a good way to scope out the grounds. Let me know if it's safe to open up my cafe. We could open up the Conspiracy Cafe, Jules. I think we're going to have to combine ideas here. Obviously, PPP with your barista magic that you can work, and Conspiracy Cafe will be open on the digital world. It's a virtual world. Yeah, so there's Jimmy Jeans in there. He's going to be joining me today. He's going to be in the... I don't know. Will me and Jimmy together, will we do it, Jimmy? Will we become citizens of Asgardia? I think it'd be pretty cool. There's actually one of the parliamentary people for Asgardia lives in Glasgow. We've got a pin in the Asgardia map. We've got a representative. I think we need two. I think that'd be brilliant, man. It'd be awesome. And then I'd be able to play the Asgardian national anthem without any fear of getting hit with copyright. It's a cool anthem. They've even updated the anthem, folks. They have. I'm not going to play it because we'll get whacked. But over here, and I've been whacked before, that's how I know. But they've it's an adaptation. There's a new part to the anthem now, folks. A new part. We'll be playing that over on the main Kev Baker show today. I hope you can all make it. Me and Jimmy, we're going to be talking about lots of woo. Lots of woo. Now, I know Jimmy, his comfort zone isn't the woo, but I'm going to drag him into the woo tonight because I promised you woo last night. Now, as well as the woo, though, I'm going to be setting up the show for tomorrow night with Kevin McCairn, which is going to be one of those, all joking aside, into the trenches, bim bang bosh, a couple of shots fired in the information war that is raging right now. It's all around us. We're in the midst of it, but not right here. This is our little enclave. Yes. They call it Speculation Island in some parts. It's where we can take our mind off all the crazy. It's where we can get ready for KBS. It's where we can chill out. We can drink tea that I forgot about, which is nice and cold now. There's nothing quite like a cold cup of tea. I bet you when you're living on that Asgardian CubeSat, I bet you they've got like replicators and things like that. You know, get a cold cup of tea, just button away. You know, anything you desire. Just become an Asgardian. Better read that fine print though, because you know, when you become part of a space cult, there's always a danger that it's going to involve beyond the tip. I'm out of here, folks. Keep your mind open. Keep looking for the woo, but not to the point where your brain turns to black goo. Lisa Roo, very good to see you. Great to see you. Great to see you all, folks. I'll play the music one more time so you can all say your goodbyes in the chat room. And I'll be back in 17 minutes. Come and join me. And Jimmy. Sarcophagi. Eh? Look at that. Little did I know I'd made the graphic of what it looks like out my little window on the CubeSat. Look. I've actually future-proofed myself. Damn. Oh, it's all lining up. It's written in the stars. Kev Asgardian Baker. That's what I like to hear, Rose. Brains falling out on a night of woo. It's allowed on the woo. But just shovel them black in before they turn to black goo.